So hello everybody, Reece Reviews here, and today we are doing the first official video in my Disney Canon series. So last in the announcement video, if you saw it, I basically said that instead of just ranking all 56, because I thought that was pretty common, instead I'm going to take it era by era, because there are 7 eras of Disney. We're going to take it era by era, and the original plan was to just talk about the best and the worst of each era for me. But I thought by doing that, a lot of the films that surprised me, I won't be able to talk about. And for example, like in something like the post-Renaissance era, where there's 12 films, I wouldn't have been able to talk about all of them. And I know some of them I would have liked to talk about. So instead, I'm just going to go through all of them. I'm going to rank all in each era. So starting with the first era we're doing is the latest, the present era of Disney, and that is the revival era. So, yeah, I watched all these movies. I'm pretty knowledgeable on them, I would say. And yeah, so let's get into it. So, number 8 is possibly one of the most disappointing movies I've ever seen, to be honest. It was Frozen. There was so much hype for this, and I saw it, and I thought it was very boring. I like the Let It Go moment, and I think the Let It Go moment is something that you need to see in the movie to really appreciate, because when it comes in, it's at a time where Elsa's like, she's annoyed, she's sick of having to hold back. So that was a really nice moment, wonderfully sung by Idina Menzel. And I like the whole breakaway from this prince and princess true love, and how it was more like the sisterly love between Anna and Elsa. But yeah, overall, I was bored. Yeah. So, in at number 7 is Wreck-It Ralph. And Wreck-It Ralph, it annoyed me because they started off by setting up this amazing premise of, like, all the arcade machines in this arcade are connected to a power brick. And this power brick is like a big, it's called Game Central Station. And you go through each power cord, and it takes you into that game. So it was really, really smart and really, really just creative. But yet they decided to just stick in one game for the entirety, pretty much. I mean, yeah, they did go into Hero's Duty at one point, and Pac-Man just for a brief moment, but they were basically in Sugar Rush for the entirety of the movie. And it's not just so much that they were in Sugar Rush, it was that Sugar Rush is just a Candyland world, and it's generic. We've seen it before. So yeah, I think there was a very big missed opportunity for this. I still enjoyed the film. Jane Lynch's Sergeant Calhoun and the Fix-It Felix character had great chemistry, and I thought that they were really funny. So yeah, but it was just annoying. Ralph, I think, was generic as a hero. And Vanellope von Schweetz, her voice can get a bit grinding. But overall, I am excited for Wreck-It Ralph 2. But, I mean, we'll see. So, number 6 is Tangled. And once again, Tangled, I liked Rapunzel, I did. But the thing is, I wasn't as gripped by her romance with Flynn. And I liked Flynn, I did. I think Flynn was cool. And the lantern scene was breathtaking, and I love how much they can tell from Maximus and Pascal when they don't speak. They don't speak at all in this film, but they tell such a story, and that was really well done. And my favourite thing about this definitely was the mother, the villain, because she used motherhood in kind of a manipulative way, which was really, 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 like, dastardly, and I loved it. I think it was really smart and really well done. But yeah, other than that, it was, I just wasn't as gripped by it. So number 5 is Moana, the latest of the Disney films. And it was a good movie. Oli Cravalho plays Moana really, really well. Perfect. Great voice. Her singing is amazing. The Rock, great as Maui. Jermaine Clement as Tamatoa. It's all really good. My only problem with this movie is I don't feel like a lot happens until, like, until the Te Kā fight at the end. Like, I kind of feel just like everything everything goes a bit slow. And that's my only problem with this film. Like, and while it is beautifully animated, the water looks amazing. Like, yeah, it just goes a bit too slow for me. And that's my only problem. So now number 4 is possibly the most surprising entry on this list. Is Winnie the Pooh. It's centered around a big misunderstanding where Christopher Robin leaves this note saying he'll be back soon. And they all take it as, like, that he's been taken by someone called the Baxon. So it's a really, like, comedic, like, premise. But the reason it's so high is just because of how much of a breath of fresh air this film was. I was so surprised that I enjoyed this movie because it's just so funny. In an era where a lot of the films are based fully on their emotion, it was good just to have a film that was fun, funny, and just enjoyable all around. Plus, the fourth wall breaks were really smart. And at number 3 is Zootopia. Now, Zootopia, I think one thing that it does really well is it never feels too heavy-handed with a message. It always kind of holds it back enough so that it doesn't push it in your face. I like Judy Hopps as a character, I like Nick Wilde as a character, and I think the whole voice cast is really, really good. I just didn't enjoy it as much as the top 2, and I don't know why. But one thing I did like about this movie, and it's kind of what Wreck-It Ralph didn't do, is it kind of showed off all of these places. You got Sahara Square, Tundra Town, the Rainforest District, and it actually visited all of those places, which was, I think, a lot better, and it's really what Wreck-It Ralph should have done. And yeah, I just love Judy Hopps as a character. I like that she might just be a generic, like, she wants to be something different, but I liked her, and I liked her, like, her spunk, and I think she was really, really just likeable. So in number 2 is The Princess and the Frog. So I watched this film when it came out in cinemas in like 2009, but I can't remember it. So I watched it again, and it was such a fun movie. I think, well, first of all, Tiana is great at singing. Her singing voice is amazing. Anika Noni Rose plays Tiana so well. I love all the side characters, the Firefly, the alligator, and Naveed. I like Naveed. And I like how it's a classic take on, like, this the princess kisses the frog prince and turns into, you know, the prince. And I like that. I like that it was kind of shoved on its head. But my 2 favourite things about this movie were, 1, Dr. Facilier, played by Keith David. The villain was amazing. I loved him. I love voodoo things, all that sort of stuff. So this was so good to me. And another thing that I really, really loved was how Tiana never really fell in love with Naveed until the end. Like, all she wanted was this restaurant. And, like, one of the final scenes, she says, like, I can't wait for people to try our food. And Naveed's like, well, our food? And she's like, no, I mean my dad. Because she doesn't really want a romance with Naveed. She wants this restaurant. She wants to fulfill what her dad wanted. And I love how she never lost that mentality. It was really, really, really good. I love the music. It was beautifully animated. Yeah, just a really good movie. So in at number 1, my favourite of the Disney revival era is Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6 was an absolute joy. I loved it from beginning to end. I love this brother tale. And the thing I actually like the brother tale more than I like the sister's tale, because it's showing that even as a teenage boy, you know, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be sad. And I really responded to that. I mean, obviously being a teenage boy myself. Baymax was a great character, you know, he was always nice. Tadashi, you didn't see a lot of him, but he was still really, really good when he was there. But my favourite thing about this was I love the diversity of the Big Hero 6 team. You had an Asian, you had, you know, someone who didn't have a job. You had someone who was black. And then they were all different ages, and I really, really like that. I love that diversity. It's a good way of not teaching kids, like, you know, be friends with everyone, and doesn't shove it down your face. But on top of that, I think it was just a really good superhero movie as well. I think the Callahan villain reveal, well, villain reveals are getting a bit old now, you know, that was at a time where I think they'd only done like 2, so I think it worked then. And like that ending where Baymax has to leave Hero, it is so touching, and I think all over, it is just a really solid movie. It's beautifully animated, it has great characters, it's really funny, and I just love that I love the idea as well. San Francisco, you know, San Francisco and Tokyo together. Such a perfect blending of the city. And my favourite part about this movie was that middle montage where it plays the song We Could Be Immortals. That montage gets me going every time. I love it. So yeah, that was my ranking of the Disney Revival era. I will put a recap in the description down below if you want to go and quickly recap it. Please put in the comments what you thought of the Revival era, and please rank the films. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I think the next one I'm going to do is the Post-Renaissance, just because it's the biggest one I want to get out of the way. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.